Hi. Russia has for centuries promoted the myth that the Russians, Ukrainians and Belarusians are one people, a nation centered in Moscow. The theory has been used to entrench Russian imperialism and undermine the Ukrainian and Belarusian national identities. It has also been used as an ideological weapon in Russia's military aggression against Ukraine since 2014. However, the theory of the tripartite people on closer examination appears to be an ideological paradigm that has little to do with actual fact. The medieval state of Kievan Rus, centered in Kyiv, emerged in the 9th century. In the 12th to 13th centuries, Kievan Rus split into separate principalities, and in the 14th to 15th centuries, its southwestern part became part of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, while its northeastern part was conquered by the Grand Duchy of Moscow. After the collapse of Kievan Rus, which included parts of modern-day Ukraine, Belarus and Russia, various names for these three countries emerged in the 14th to 17th centuries. During this period, the words Ukraine and Little Russia, a derogatory term for Ukraine now, started to be applied to Ukraine. The residents of what is today Belarus started to be known as either Lithuanians, Lithuanians and Belarusians, and what is now the Russian Federation became known as Russia, Muscovy or Great Russia, a Russian imperialist term. In fact, before the 18th and 19th centuries, Russia, Belarus and Ukraine did not exist in the form of the nations that we know now, because all nations in the modern sense emerged in this period. And despite Russia's efforts, it has never been a long-lasting project to unite the three entities into one nation. The failure to understand the separate Ukrainian identity may be behind the Russian dictator Vladimir Putin's failure to seize the whole of southeastern Ukraine from Odessa to Kharkiv in 2014. Assuming that the residents of those regions speak Russian and share some religious and cultural legacy with Russia, the Kremlin failed to realize that they still consider themselves part of a separate civic nation. Moreover, when even many ethnic Russians living in Ukraine have vehemently opposed Russian aggression and helped or fought for the Ukrainian military because they deem themselves to be part of the Ukrainian nation. Ukraine's national identity was firmly entrenched when the nation restored its own statehood in 1991 and when the 2004 Orange Revolution and the 2014 Euromaidan Revolution further severed ties with Imperial Russian Soviet legacy. And ultimately, Russia's aggression against Ukraine, which started in February 2014, also accelerated the strengthening of Ukraine's national identity.